All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's discuss something real quick. This is going to be a short video. In the Delphi case, John's helped search for the girls that night. So let's listen a little bit of Deb's true crime notebook, and then we'll, because I find it interesting.
Actively involved in the search efforts on February 14th, 2017. Brown informed the court that he had known Libby's grandfather, Mike Patty, since their high school days and was also acquainted with Libby herself. He recounted being at home enjoying dinner and watching television when his wife informed him that Libby and Abby were missing. In response, Brown reached out to a man named Tom Mears for assistance and ventured out into the darkness to look for the girls. He detailed his route from his home to the Morning Heights Cemetery, mentioning that he stopped by Ron Logan's house to inquire if he had seen the girls before proceeding to the bridge to speak with members of the search party.
All right, so he hears all this stuff going on. His wife tells him the girls are missing. He went to high school with Mike Patty, which is the grandfather. So they go out there and they start searching. Now this guy goes to the cemetery and he searches the cemetery. He don't see nothing. Little does he know, 100 feet away, behind the cemetery, is where the girls were found. So he goes to the cemetery. He searches, looks for them. It's already getting dark because in February, it gets dark real early here. By 5:30, I think it's already dark. So he goes to the cemetery. He searches the cemetery. He don't see the girls anywhere. Then he goes to Ron Logan's and goes and knocks on Ron Logan's door to ask if he has seen the girls or any activity or anything around that area. All right, let's continue a little bit with this.
Afterwards, he drove to the nearby Mears property and met with Tom to look for Libby and Abby. Brown said he called off work on February 14th to help the search efforts. He and Mears drove into town, where Brown said Delphi Police Chief Steve Mullins was heading up the search party. Mullins said in his testimony earlier Saturday that he did not head up the search. Brown picked up his daughter around 11 a.m. on February 14th and soon received a call from Mears to say they'd found Libby's shirt along Deer Creek. Brown went to the north side of the creek and found...
Okay, so Brown finds the shirt, the tie-dye shirt. He finds the shoe. We got one report of someone, Brown or Johns, saying that they seen footprints on the trail or around there. So that's very interesting too, right? Plus, little did they know, they were right there where the girls were, right? Because the girls were found behind the cemetery. So that was very interesting to me that they went directly to Ron Logan's house that night before they even found the girls, because everyone was saying, "Oh, Ron Logan, they went to his house after they found the girls." Well, here we go. We got proof now that they went to Ron Logan's before they even found the girls and asked him. Now, you have to remember now, Ron Logan's got a big property down there. So, and it's covered with trees. There's only so much that is open for the horses and everything. The rest of it's all tree. So how would he see? Now, I'm not saying Ron Logan didn't have anything to do with this. I'm saying he's not bridge guy. He might have been part of this good old boy club down there. I'm not sure. He might have known him. I heard rumors and videos out that the girls knew Ron Logan from town and knew him from the stores out there, or had an altercation with him, or at Walmart or something. Now, we don't know if that's true, but it possibly could be. Now, like I said, I don't know if Ron Logan was there. He might have been, but he's not bridge guy. Now, voice guy, I don't I don't know. I don't know. Not the first voice. Maybe the second one, or possibly. I don't know. But I'll tell you what. They made a giant mistake not letting the professionals, not letting the FBI and the guys that have the equipment to put that voice in a computer and run it through all kind of analyzers and all kinds of software to clean it up. I don't know why we are hearing reports that the FBI was kicked off of the case. And then after they kicked the FBI off the case, the police investigators that were handling the investigation was incapable to read the evidence and the data that they were seeing in front of their faces. Very interesting. But here we go. So now we know that Brown and Johns and Mullins, that night, was at the cemetery searching for the girls. And not only did they search at the cemetery that night, they went directly to Ron Logan's and asked if he's seen the girls or anything going on. So they went there not once, not twice, like 3 times. Now, once they found out that they found the girls on Logan's property behind the cemetery, then I imagine they did go back there again just because it was on his property. That don't mean he had anything to do with it. That also means he might not have had anything to do, or he might have had something to do with it. We don't know. But that's interesting that now we know that they didn't wait to go to Ron Logan's after they found the girls. They were already there before they found the girls. Interesting. Interesting. And I was interested in seeing what kind of evidence they found, because supposedly they found evidence or blood or something at Logan's, but that got swept away. Or at least his house was tested for bodily fluids or something like that. But we never heard anything else back about it. They came out with the information that the reason he did get arrested was because he broke his violation and was driving his vehicle when he wasn't supposed to be driving. And that's what the official police stuff was, that he didn't have anything to do with the murders, supposedly. The reason they went back and got him was because they had evidence that he was not home when he said he was home. He said he was home during all this stuff. That's what Ron Logan claimed, that he was at home. But evidence showed that he was out drinking or at a restaurant or something, and he wasn't home. He was out driving around somewhere else, and that broke his probation violation because he wasn't supposed to be driving, and that's why they picked him up. I think if they had all this proof, I think by now they would have came out and said, yes, Ron Logan was one of the people involved, but this is an ongoing case, and there'll be more arrests. But they didn't. So that leaves me to believe that they didn't have no evidence that he was part of it. Now, I don't know. He could have been. We don't know. He could have been one of the people on The Voice, on the tape. We don't know. We haven't heard all of the evidence. The evidence we're hearing ain't even probably in the right sequence. It's been edited and moved around. So we're not hearing actually what went down. We're hearing clips, maybe two voices, and that's it. And there's supposed to be numerous voices on the recording. So are we hearing it all? I don't know. That's my take on it. My other thing would be, did Ron Logan have any kind of past of SA or sexual abuse and was on a list in that area? That's why they went to Ron Logan's uh, before they even found the girls. Because that's what they do. They start off with people in that area within, I think, a 50-mile area or whatever, a 25-mile area, I think they said. And they went through all the sexual pedo people or SA people, or what do they call them? Sexual offense people or whatever. So they started doing that first, which makes sense. That's protocol, especially if you live in a town and you got tons of people that were uh, sexual assaulters or whatever they call them, rapists. I think it's rapists or something. So we don't know. Did they just stop at Ron Logan's because he lives off of the bridge, and it's possible the girls were walking around or something, or it's possible, or is it possible he was already on a offense list and they went there right away because he was right there, right next to the area? I don't know. Hopefully we'll find all this out. Now, you folks have a great night. God bless. If you want to listen any more to what's going on in the court, check out Deb's True Crime. Deb's True Crime Notebook. Check her channel out. Great channel. She's always up on everything. Seems like a nice lady. God bless. Have a good night. We'll be returning back to Delphi here and there and talking about it in other cases. Now, it's interesting to see what color hair was found at the Delphi case. They're saying it was definitely a female hair, long, reddish color, we're not sure, wrapped around the girl's finger. That might be struggling. If it's wrapped around it, she might have had hold of her hair or something. It might be their own hair, the girl's own hair. It'll be interesting to see. You folks have a great night. God bless, and talk to you.